Hello, and welcome to a very special bonus episode of Nintendo Therapy, a show and celebration of all things Nintendo. Kevin is off trotting the globe, so it's just Harris and I doing a little bonus episode talking about some stuff, a few things that are going on in the gaming world, and live demos. We wanted to kind of do a little demo episode.
Right.
So, how you doing, Harrison?
Good, good. The next episode would be 150, so just naturally, we'll just hold that off until the new year until
Yeah.
everyone can be back, and we'll have a special retrospective 150 end of the year. But this is fun. I wanted an excuse to just play some games and
Yep.
just why not why not hop on and then talk about it after? Um, but not surprising because anytime one of us leaves or does something, there's going to be news with Nintendo. What was
Oh yeah.
surprising is we got two NSO announcements like 15 hours apart from each other. So I
Yeah, it
don't.
was funny because Kevin told me about one of them, and then you told me about the other one. So it's just like, oh, all right, that was quick.
Right, right. I went to sleep and then I woke up and then there was the other one. So in order, not the order that I put in the notes, but the first one are are two Ubisoft games, right? We had
Yeah,
Rayman 2, The Great Escape. Um, one of the most heavily praised platformers of that era, perhaps, and one of the most obscurely ported games as well, I believe. Wasn't that the one that I noted? Yes, yes, because
yeah.
it was like over a decade of different Rayman ports, and we'll talk about it more when we get to it. My only note was I think this was my last Rayman game, but they've all been pretty like well received. So my wonder is Rayman Legends came out 2013. Where is it?
Wow,
Where's the next one, you know?
I didn't know that was that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense because Rayman Legends oddly was the game that sold me on the Wii U gamepad.
Mhm.
So wow,
Right.
no, that is crazy. So yeah, they announced Rayman 2 coming to the N64 and Tonic Trouble, which was one I remember seeing print ads for at the time, but not realizing it was a platformer. So
Mhm.
that was kind of cool to see because it's like I vaguely remember this game, but I was like, it's a platformer. I'm like, oh, all right, so that's different. So yeah, I like that they just kind of snuck two in there, and it's promising to see it being Ubisoft releases. So maybe there's some more stuff from that end of things coming. So I thought it was a pretty decent two additions to a honestly one of the better libraries of stuff on the service.
Right. At this point, so it's not a game that you've played then, Tonic Trouble.
No, no.
Me neither. So I'm looking forward to it. The trailer that showed off the ski slope, I was like, ooh, because like it's just that era, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
why not put like a skiing or snowboarding. I don't know if it's mini game or if it's like how you get to one A to B. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I love that. I feel like skateboarding got into a lot of games then too because of Tony Hawk. Like it just be a thing that was in the game, and you're like, okay, sure, whatever. Skateboarding, great. So just that
right,
odd time where I guess there was more fun things popular at that time. There was like, oh, all right, well, we're gonna put this in. Whereas now, it'd be well. if we charge people for every part of the game.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It was
R Right,
simpler
could be a
time.
DLC.
Right, right.
Right.
It'd be a whole different thing. So it was cool they added those, but the one you had alerted me to,
Mhm.
and it was a pleasant surprise because the GameCube one is still new, but they added Wario World, like kind of out of the blue. Because I don't remember if that was one they had talked about when they had shown the titles coming down the road.
Right, right, Wario World for the GameCube, 2003, and not one like, if you had me, like, list out all the GameCube games I would think would come on NSO next, man, Wario World would not be in my top 10, maybe not my
No,
top 20, like, it's one that I easily forget about on that system. So, what's going on with Wario? It seems like I don't know.
it
But
made me wonder if something's in the pipeline. And it's funny because I remember Wario World coming out, but I think I tried it, but I was kinda not into platforming games in the early 2000s. But the trailer they made for this made me go, "Whoa, wait a minute. All of this is in this game?" Like, I had no idea. So I might pop it in this weekend. That was the one that I might be like, "You know what? I don't know if I'm gonna wait for the randomizer." I might pop Wario World in. So
right, I felt the same way about Tonic Trouble. Because yeah, I want to know if the reviews had held up or like like it seems like it was an interesting era where that game came out. But yeah, talking about Wario World. So wait, did you say you've played this one? I wasn't
I
listening.
think I played very little of it. Because what they showed in the trailer, I'm like, "I didn't think any of this was in this game." So I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I may have missed out on something here and not realized it." So
Yeah. And it's made by Treasure, which is interesting because I'm not too familiar with that company. I know Gunstar Heroes, Sin and Punishment, and then McDonald's Treasureland Adventure. I remember a little bit, which is like really strange. Um, but beyond that, I think those are the only games by Treasure that I've actually have played before. So looking forward to it, and the trailer, listeners who haven't seen it, the trailer they released for Wario World is really, really cool. Like, they did a whole cinematic, like,
yeah,
minute and a half trailer for it. Not necessary, but always welcomed because they could always just make a tweet or announcement on their Today app saying, "Hey, we released some games today," or they're coming out. So, that's super
yeah. So
cool.
it's like I said, it's got me wondering if maybe Wario is another one that they're kicking around, bringing back. So
Right. I with NSO, I have a hard time gauging how much of it, like, they are actually using that for. I don't know. Like, I don't know how much importance they put out. Because like, they put out um, that online F-Zero game, and then I'm wondering, "Oh, like, maybe something with F-Zero," and then well, nothing ever happens until it does, though, right? I guess is the
yeah,
case.
because Nintendo just does what they want to do, and that's sometimes a pleasant surprise, and sometimes it makes you scratch your head. So
Yeah,
it could go either way. It could be just they put Wario World out. So
yeah. And listeners, keep listening because yeah, I think 2025 we're gonna remember, um, maybe for good and bad, but 2026, I have no idea what's gonna happen, but
Mm,
there's a potential. Considering we didn't have a Zelda or Mario game this year, next year has a potential of being really big. Along with when does the
no,
movie come
we
out?
had
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors. That's Zelda.
Yeah,
It's not
mainline,
mainline
and we
Zelda.
had Mario Kart, yes, mainline game. Thr 3D Mario, that's the one that I'll keep bringing up. I'll keep complaining about, um, but Yeah, who knows? Mario's 40th feels a bit odd at this point, but we're not here to speculate too much on that. That is going to be for um, more down the road. And this wasn't even a news episode, anyways. So the other part, and we'll talk about it because Nintendo won two awards, and there was a very brief Mario Galaxy trailer, Mario Galaxy movie trailer, that is, with the baby Blue Bowser, whoever that is, whoever that guy
Okay.
is,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
whoever that,
So,
yeah,
uh, yeah, Harrison's bringing us to the Game Awards, which I don't typically watch. Um, I watched a handful of the trailers for games. I didn't know they did a new Mario movie trailer till you said it. Uh, I mean, as far as what they revealed trailer wise, Lego Batman was the only one I was really excited about, but it also was one of the few that would also be on Switch. So that might have had something to do with it.
yes,
Uh, yeah, so I guess not shocking, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 more or less swept the thing. Which I haven't played the game. I've heard it's very good. That's it's more of a time thing. I don't have time for these big long games anymore, which is disappointing because I feel like in the case of this, I feel like I'm missing out a little. But yeah, they took game of the year, game direction, narrative, art direction, score and music, best performance, independent game, indie game, which is interesting. RPG, I think that was it.
yeah, 9
Yeah.
awards overall, nine, uh,
So
like over
not
25%.
too shabby for a smaller studio. And then yeah, Nintendo themselves, which again, it's is Nintendo not typically involved in the Game Awards a lot?
No, never. And,
Okay.
and and this is very typical for Nintendo. It's like they need a Nintendo category, so they do best family game, and they usually win best family game. And
Yeah,
then,
so
which they did.
I was yeah, the Donkey Kong Bonanza won Best Family Game, and I I guess I wasn't surprised, but Mario Kart World got Best Sports Racing Game. So what is do you know anything else as far as why Nintendo doesn't embrace the Game Awards as much?
I think they just. I mean, it would only be what I assume and what I project is the reason why, but it
Mhm.
sure seems like they want their own agency and they want to do things just their own way. And at this point, like, why not have like their own platform altogether? Like, I've predicted on here that we will have live streams of whether we call it a Nintendo Direct or Nintendo presentation, they'll have that on their own app pretty soon, I think. I'm sure
Yeah.
perhaps they still put it on YouTube for the reach, but it sure seems like whether it's their own app they're putting out, but if they're gonna release something, aren't they gonna do it and like on their own channel or platform and monetize it themselves? Like if they want to do a direct, um, aren't more Nintendo fans gonna watch that than maybe the actual game awards? So I don't know. Like, and of course, money. I'm sure there's something with money to do with that as well. Uh, but yeah,
I was
and
just curious because I guess they had a Metroid Prime 4 trailer just as a hey, it's out, but it doesn't seem like they typically have a game reveal from them. You'll get stuff that's multi-platform. So I don't know. I found it interesting that the Game Awards, at least recently, seems to be kind of a big thing. So it's interesting that one of the biggest players in the industry just kind of passes over it and is like, "Yeah, okay. You guys
Right.
have your little game awards. That's nice."
Right. I think Game Awards fill like not a market need, but a market want. Like it's something that consumers enjoy. Uh, we made no notice last week when we did Soul Calibur that Soul Calibur was in the inaugural Spike Game Awards or whatever they had
Yeah.
called that. And that had run for 10 years. That had run for a long time. I think people like award shows. I don't. And I I get stuck because when I think about that they should change how the Game Awards are run. Sometimes I think
Mhm.
this is just not something for me, and perhaps I don't enjoy it because it's not something that I enjoy. Like, award shows just in general are things that I just don't like for lots of different reasons, like whether it's establishment or like where the votes are coming from, so many like bureaucracy and political things towards that. My issue is like I understand like whether it's the Grammys or like the Oscars that like the top movie could win or the top album could win like a bunch of different awards. But my issue is like if Clair Obscura is going to win Game of the Year, we know they're going to win Best Indie Game. Because, like, how could you lose best indie, but then win game of the year, you know? Or
Okay, I
like
get so it's like when something gets best picture but doesn't get best director. You have those moments at the Oscars where people go, "Well, if it was the best overall movie," so yeah, I get what you're saying, and yeah, that's one of the awards it was up for where I'm like, I get why it's an indie, but I feel at the same time if it's pretty guaranteed to get game of the year, you could probably give best indie to somebody else.
yeah,
But this is all voted on by the public,
yeah. Or
right?
or
It's
or
open to
why
the
not do it
public
like
to
that?
vote. So
Yeah. Or or why not like, I know it'd probably be pretty lame to say, "Okay, like, Clear Obscure won Best Indie, but okay, 2nd place is this guy." I know that might be kinda lame anyways, but, yeah, like, I could see a movie not getting Best Director, but getting Best Movie, having a justification of that, but how could you not have the best RPG game, but then have the best game overall? Because wouldn't like that doesn't that makes no sense.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
like they won best performance. That could have gone to someplace else, but things like yeah, best RPG or best indie, best debut indie. Um, so yeah, that's not something that probably should be changed. I probably should just not be. I'm not that invested in it. Anyways, Game Awards is another thing that's manufactured. It seems like um, other big developers, companies have taken part in it more. Nintendo, I think, is just over on the other side of the world, and they just want to do things like just kind of their own way. Pretty happy. Hades 2 won Best Action Game. Donkey Kong Bonanza is not a family game, is it? It's just what they put in there.
yeah,
I guess you could kind of say it, but are you gonna like really be sitting
yeah.
around with your family? Like that's like Mario Party, right? But like, are you gonna be sitting around with your family
I,
playing?
no, I think family game is just the broader like age range. Like Donkey Kong, kids can play it, parents can play. I don't know. I think some of them are not as well defined, I guess, because like Mario Kart winning best sports racing, like it's a racing game, but I don't necessarily associate Mario Kart as a sports game.
I think
Like
I
that
think that's
almost
just
seems like that could have
because
been.
I think it's reflective
Re-
of where sports and racing games are. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and
like
it could be that. It could just be that, hey, we need to mash this together because looking back at the year, there weren't a lot of options. And so, yeah, I mean, you could, I guess that's the thing is, because to me, the Game Awards, it's interesting kind of like the day after for me because the awards part seems secondary to all the reveals. So it's almost like the awards are there just to be like, all right, we got to pad out all these reveals, so let's do some awards. So that's what part of why I don't end up watching it because I'm like, all right, well, I'll wait and see what got announced and the stuff I care about. I'll watch the trailers for. So,
right,
but
right.
who
I
knows? I mean, maybe we luck out and Switch 2 gets a Clair Obscur port, and then maybe I'm like, hey, you know what? Everybody raves about this game. Hey, it's on sale or something.
I
I got a snowy weekend or something. Sure, let me dig into this and give it a go. So,
I think that's definitely gonna happen. Along with, Baldur's Gate 3 got best community support. Uh, People are gonna be playing that game for decades, at this point
oh,
because, yeah, uh, the amount of community support that game has had has been overwhelming. Just so impressed by it. I knew it was gonna win, and no surprise. Uh, mo Most anticipated game, I think, is a horrible, horrible category because it's like,
yeah,
why
that's just a silly thing to me. Like,
do something first?
here's the thing we're most excited for.
Yeah, you didn't do anything
Okay.
yet. Like, I know you're gonna do something. You're gonna win awards when your game comes out, but, like, how much hype your game has gets a physical award is so
Yeah,
silly.
it's odd.
Um,
It's like,
Uma yeah, Umamusume
yeah,
got
it's
best
like
mobile game. Shout out to the people who played that game.
okay.
Yeah, the ones where you race the girls, the anime girls. Yeah, it's very interesting. Could be
Oh,
fun.
okay.
Could be a fun
That's
gotcha
different.
game. Silk Song, we're gonna mention that. Silk Song got best action adventure. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, Charlie Voice Critical got content creator of the year, which I think is cool because he's like one of the biggest YouTubers. So yeah, he should win some of these years. That's all for me.
Yeah. So,
Which demo do you want to talk about first? We'll go one for one.
uh, I mean, if you wanna, we'll start with the one of the ones you get to play. I mean, I talked about it a little bit before, but Octopath Traveler 0, you get to play that, right?
Right. Right. Quite a bit actually. Right, which is nice. That,
Okay,
that was that was
cool.
my first point. But go ahead.
Yeah, I like that Square kind of gives you that 3-hour block to play the game. I know depending on the game, it some stuff you see more of than others. That Quest of Elliot or whatever demo that came out earlier this year. I don't know if that was a 3-hour demo, but it wasn't set up in the same type of way. So you get to play two sections of the game, and maybe you had 3 hours to play them. But I mean, this was an instance where I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they continue to do it, and they let you carry your progress over. I think that's fantastic. Um, I think it's unfortunate on Switch that it got the same release date as Metroid, but it was multi-platform, so I'm sure people have picked it up and have been playing it. Uh, I still love the art style. I still think this is the best battle system in any 2D RPG right now. So I'm glad they kept all of those things. So what I want to specifically get into with you is so the town building mechanic I didn't really get too far with because of the 3-hour time. Was that something you were able to play around with more?
No, no, I got
Okay.
to I got to probably I imagine right where you were, and it's nothing spoilery. We're not doing any reviews on here, or at least I'm not today. Um, Especially with a game this massive. But I got to right when it starts to get pretty exciting. And I played most of
Okay.
my limit. So yes,
Okay.
I don't know how I'd feel about that part. Which is why I wouldn't
Okay.
attempt to review this, like, 80, 90-hour game with only 2.5, 3 hours or so. Um, but I think that's really
Yeah.
cool. I think this seems like a game that if I were to play it, I'd have to be all in. Like I'd have to, like, really want a game where I wanna do the battling, but I also wanna do the town building because, like, it sounds like there's a lot of content to go through, which is great. I imagine as a this is a full price game is probably worth it if you're committed and you're gonna play through it. And my everything you said was my feeling as well. This is done on Unreal Engine 4. The only other game I could think of that I've played is, Pro Skater 1 and 2, that remake, and
Okay.
I've read on reviews that Unreal Engine is hard to do on Switch, but even on my Switch
Yep.
1, it looks really, really good, and, I think that Square Enix, excuse me, talking about Ubisoft before. Square took a lot of time to make sure that both systems were optimized. Um, I
Yep.
thought it's really cool that, um, like, how they control the background textures, like, they do slow them down, but they put them more, like, in the background and make them look kind of luminous. It's hard for me to describe,
Yep.
but it's much better than what Nintendo has done for some games where it's like a floating pixel in, like, the back of your screen. So, just overall, gorgeous looking game. I I know I'm always gonna point towards Pokemon, but I really wish Pokemon would go in this direction for something because
I
it
think if
seems doable.
Pokemon went into this art style, that would be me giving it a real shot and going, okay, I like how this looks, and if it plays well, then cool. Yeah, I agree with you guys when you say that they should try to refine the 2D Pokemon into some new form, and I think this might be the way to do it. Um, yeah, I thought the most impressive thing with the demo was just when the town gets attacked. Just everything visually there, just I don't know, that was gorgeous stuff. So I really, really liked that. And this I, again with the 3 hour time frame, you don't really get to play with it much, but this compared to the other Octopath games from what I've read is you will have a party of 8 people once you build it. And I was like, oh, all right, that's kind of cool because you're not limited to the four that you can switch between the 8 depending who you wanna use, so I enjoyed it overall. Uh, I'm probably gonna wait on it because, 1, I don't have time, and, I still have yet to play Octopath 2, but I thought this was a pretty solid experience from what they gave you to play for it, so it's definitely one down the road I think I'll grab.
Right. I think it's a franchise I want to get into, but I think it's I think there's almost too much content there for me to really like even if I bought it on sale, I'd still want to commit the time to really playing it.
Yeah,
But it seems like it would be hard for me to review, and I've read mixed and really good reviews of this game. I just think uh, that it's really solid, and I lost my last point that I was going to say. So I had a really good time with it. The demo, I wish um, more people would do it this way, where it's we give you the entire game for a time limit, and then it carries over if you want to buy it. It just feels like very natural and just very
Yeah.
hands off. Like tried our game for a little while. You know, it's almost like you're going to Blockbuster and renting it for a few hours. And then there's no pressure on if you want to buy it or not. It's just if you enjoyed it. I remember now. I talked through it. When I started battling, I just started by pressing A the entire time. So I wanted to see
Yep.
how long I could do that for. Not very long, honestly. You get engaged pretty early on in this game, I think, because I died
Yes, you do.
'cause I died early. So and it's
Yeah,
kind of a good
I
feeling.
died to that wolf in the cave,
Yeah, me too.
the initial fight. So yeah, it's not handholdy. It's
Yeah,
definitely here's the game. Like
yeah,
let's get running. So
yeah.
yeah, I think Square, Sega, and Capcom of the big companies typically do really well with demos. So yeah, I think more companies should follow along with them.
Well, you mentioned Sega, and let's talk about the most fun demo I played this week, surprisingly. Um, so Sonic Racing CrossWorlds was or has been a really big surprise, and I think I want it on sale. Um, I think it's worth full
All
price,
right,
but I
so we
yeah,
both get to the same conclusion on the demo. At least is on sale. Picking it, yeah.
yeah. So mm, I'll send it over to you. I know for whatever weird reason, Sega did not have a dev kit early on. So I heard of performance issues with Switch 2. What was your experience with Switch 2 Sega Racing Cross Worlds?
I didn't really notice any performance issues with it. I, it seemed to run fine. There wasn't any issues once the actual changing the track mid lap happens and everything. So at least from the demo, I didn't have any issues. I feel like the game itself, again, I like that they at least gave you the first Grand Prix to do. They didn't really give you many. I wasn't expecting all the characters to be available, but I don't typically play smaller characters, so I was hoping Robotnik or somebody would be available. But yeah, I think learning it was the toughest part for me because it plays very different from Mario Kart or Kirby. You know, since it's been the year of the racers.
Right.
Uh, did you pick up the actual mechanics pretty quickly, or did you struggle?
So I left on the steering assist. Like I played on normal, and then I saw steering assist, and I was like, sure, okay. And even with that, um, I felt that through like my first four races, it did get easier over time with the
Hmm.
drifting, and then figuring out when I was actually supposed to use the boosts and figuring out
Yeah,
what some of the items are, but I didn't win one time. Which again, and I was playing on normal, which again was a really good feeling. I haven't played Mario Kart World yet, but my experience of Mario Kart is like sometimes you'll be in last place and they'll just bombard you with items to like catch you up. This one to me felt more like when I lost, it was my fault, like, and I like that. Like, there are some items that are overpowered in this game, but overall, if you're gonna lose, I think it's more because you did not do a good race. So that was my overall
yeah, yeah.
experience.
I think that's fair. Actually, the slime item in this game. I like that you can shake it off the screen.
That's
And
so
I'm like,
cool.
why on earth can you not do that in Mario Kart when the blooper hits you with ink?
That's so
I'm like,
cool.
that would make that power up so much better. But I thought the power ups overall were a little generic, but I mean, it's kart racing and there's not too many different things you can do there. So it, you know, whether it was Crash Team Racing or Diddy Kong, they all kind of had the same types of items. Uh, the thing I liked the most, because I thought the cross-world mechanic was cool, and like I said, like it ran fine. I'm guessing you didn't have any issues with when it was transforming between.
No, it ran surprisingly really, really, really well. Some of a couple of the opening, like when it opens up into like the cutscene, a couple of those start out a bit
Yep.
slow, but when we got into the actual race, it ran surprisingly really, really well, which is another reason why I think I could buy this game on sale, and then when I upgrade my Switch, I have it there. So yeah, keep going. Yeah, what were you saying?
But my favorite mechanic this game has that other games don't have is the rival thing. I actually really liked that they give you almost a personal like, oh, that person is out for you, and then that almost makes you want to learn the mechanics and get better because there's that one specific racer you're trying to beat. So I thought that was a very cool addition to the whole
Yes.
cart thing.
I don't see why games don't take advantage of rivalries more because for me as a gamer, I don't need very much to be motivated. Because like Knuckles, like yeah, like I
Mhm.
wish yeah, like Dr. Robotnik was in this demo, but like Knuckles, he's so annoying. He's just like the most typical like rival, like yeah, I'm gonna beat you, and
Is
just like
that
no.
who you got?
I played a Sonic. And
No, I'm saying
Sonic
is that the rival you had?
yeah.
Okay, because I got. I'm gonna have to look it up because I am not versed in the land of Sonic. Sonic uh,
Yeah,
character.
the demo, you get 4 characters to
Amy.
choose from.
A-
Yeah,
Amy Rose was my rival.
eh
So I didn't know it switched it up. So I like that too, that it's not always just, oh, you pick Sonic, so it's always gonna be Knuckles. So that's cool.
so you played as Sonic and you got Amy.
Amy was the rival. So yeah, all right. I
Huh.
didn't know it didn't default to somebody.
'Cause I just thought it was like if it was A, it was B, if it was B, it was A, it was like that. But yeah, like when I saw Knuckles the first time, I'm like, "This guy is so annoying," like, and that's really it, like I've said it a lot with like NBA 2K, like, why don't you just create some fake rivalries? And then I'm like, okay, I gotta go score 40 points. All right, easy. So that part is the extra. I totally agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. And the crossworlds, I think, is just so cool. Like, if you're in first place, you get to choose which crossworld that you go into, I guess. And
Yeah, I like that.
and my
Oh,
favorite
there's your boy.
was the roulette one, the one that I out of the ones that I played. So, but I liked all of them, honestly. Um, something that
I
you, yeah,
think I had a dinosaur one, maybe. I
yeah,
don't. That's what
dinosaur
I was
one's
wondering
so
too. If it.
cool.
Okay, I didn't know if it like for the demo only let it be certain ones, or if it was like no, if it's on random, it's randomly picking one. So
Yeah, that's so cool. I've been maybe a little bit critical of like Sonic's world building. I'm like you, I'm not a big Sonic fan, but I played Sonic Frontier. That was the name, right? Yeah, the world
yeah,
building I've been kind of critical of, but I think this one is great. I feel like I'm in the Sonic world when I'm playing it. And I think doing like a dinosaur park is kind of difficult when everyone could be like, "Oh, it's just like a Jurassic Park thing that you're doing in this game." So, yeah, that part was so cool. Um, Yeah,
Thought
and
the vehicle transformations themselves worked very well also.
right, and it seems like in the full game, there's a lot of different customizations that you can get for your
Yep.
vehicles. So that just gives me more motivation because I want things to be able to unlock um, as you're playing it. That's super cool. Something that I've been seeing with um, people that are playing the new Kirby game, the new Air Riders game, is that some people are saying that the game itself feels a bit overwhelming, just like with all the things that you can do within one race. This one, like I would agree, the items feel they feel okay, but it did not feel overwhelming to me at all. Like, it didn't feel like I was out of control or I was just doing things, like, in a meaningless way. And the basic tricks that you can
Yeah.
do, like the 360s or the front flips, back flips, that's all welcome, that's all pretty cool. So, yeah, this for me was the most fun, demo, maybe not the best demo, like, overall, as far as how much you get, but it certainly got me interested.
Yeah, so I think this is again a sale just because time and so many racing games. But no, I definitely think CrossWorlds is well worth checking out if you haven't. Uh, I mean, so there was two demos I played that are unavailable to
Mhm.
you, which
Good, yeah,
I sometimes forget some of these are not Switch 1 and 2 games,
me too.
but I don't have a lot to say about either one of them. So I did try Full Metal Schoolgirl. I guess it's kind of like a Hyrule Warriors esque game, except you're a robot teenage girl fighting robot zombies in an office building.
Mhm.
It was all right.
It's a ro
Uh,
it's a roguelike, isn't it?
I
Isn't it?
don't know because I got to like I think a boss and died, and then I was kind of like, I
That's it,
think
yeah,
I've
yeah,
played
yeah.
as much of this as I want because it gets a little too dead or alive, weird physics stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's
I
not
got you.
really my jam.
I
So I was
got you.
like,
Yeah,
okay, but
I saw that with the DLC. Like there's like cosmetic DLC that you can get. I'm like, okay. Because I was like
but
really go ahead. Sorry. You played it,
it
go ahead.
it was entertaining for a little bit, but the whole time I'm playing it, I mean, all I could think, because you have a chainsaw, I was like, if they did an Evil Dead Hyrule Warriors, that would be amazing. I'm thinking about this other thing that's not a game while
Mhm.
playing the demo, so
Right.
it wasn't quite successful as far as selling me on the concept, but
Right, right. Yeah, that would be cool. And then there was that I think there was a PS3 game where you're a schoolgirl or something with a chainsaw. There was like something
are
compared
you
to
thinking
that.
Lollipop Chainsaw?
I'm pretty sure. It's got to be
That
it, right? How
that's
many?
there's the, Switch version of that too.
Yeah.
They did I think that was this year that it came out, but so that one wasn't really for me, and then, my most disappointing one actually was the Yooka-Replaylee one. Um, I played a little did you ever play the original release?
No, and to get ready for this episode, I went to see if the game was 90% off like it's usually is, because I was gonna buy it
Yeah.
if it was on sale, but no, it's one of those games that's always $3, and I'm always like, "Oh, I should just put it on my system and have it." Uh, but no, what was your
So, I
experience?
wasn't huge on the original release. I don't Kevin's our platformer N64 guy, so I don't have, like, that nostalgia and love. Uh, Visually, it's much nicer now, and I like that they give you all the abilities from the start, but the demo is insanely short. Like,
Mm,
it's almost like you just kinda get a handle on the moves, and then you, like, solve one thing to get a page, and then it's like, oh, well, that's it. And then they have you do a there's like a arcade game, mini game in it. So you do that, and you're like a dinosaur that can extend his neck to bite stuff. And that ended up being more entertaining to me than the actual ukulele part. So I was like, all right, well, maybe no on this, because I don't know. So I was kind of disappointed with it. So again, this is why I like demos, because when it came out a few months ago, it was on sale, discounted, and da da. And I'm glad I didn't just get it when it came out. So
Oh, then in a weird way, the demo did its purpose. Then it made you have the decision. It didn't do the purpose that the company would want. I don't get like just don't do a demo. I think if it's not gonna like sell your game in the right way because
yeah,
the
yeah,
game
I don't
the
know.
game
I
already
just
exists. Like the game already exists.
right,
It's like when I create my digital products and I make a preview, like I'm giving you enough to where it's like I want you to buy the rest of it. So yeah, I don't really get that. But okay. I mean, it served the purpose for you then. And we'll talk about that more when Kevin gets back then. Um let's talk about another indie. Um, Dunjungle is certainly a game I've been following this past year, and this demo was the first time I've played it, and it made me
yep,
have the decision of I want to buy it, but I'm most likely going the Steam route because it's significantly cheaper. Um,
okay,
sometimes
okay,
I'll get it for one system or get it for both, but this is a 2D roguelite. Often people will make the Dead Cells comparison because of the genre. I
yep.
don't know about that. I'm not so sure about that. But my
I
overall
I
experience,
found it to be Dead Cells meets 1001 Spikes. I don't know if you remember that game, but it gave me that feel, yeah. So I get it.
okay. Right. And right, I think it's $20 on the eShop, so I think, yeah, to me, it's maybe not a $20 game, and the demo, they show you, like, where all the unlocks are, and it looks like there's a lot of different characters and upgrades and builds you can get, so it did, I guess, serve its purpose where it motivated me to, like, "Alright, it's not a very easy game, like, it's more tactical than I would have imagined, and, it's not as much like just mashing buttons, and I think again, we're not reviewing it, but I don't know about how the scaling is for your upgrades, but with how the game is reviewed, how well it's reviewed right now, um, I'm definitely motivated to play it more because, yeah, I can always use a roguelike in my rotation, and this one, I don't play enough 2D roguelikes really. So, yeah, what was your experience? I was really bad at this demo. What was your experience?
So I'm glad you brought up that it's more tactical because I was not expecting that. I thought it was gonna be more of a run and hit something and go and have, like, more of a continuous flow to it. Uh, I couldn't beat I think I only did 2 runs, but I couldn't beat either boss I got to, like, I just got, like, annihilated by both of them. I don't know if you got to any bosses, like, I got to a giant pumpkin, and I don't remember what the heck the other thing was. I thought the level design, at least in the demo, was a little dull, but I don't know if it I would assume it opens up the further you get, but because I could only get so far, it just kind of felt like going down the same corridor over and over again.
Yes, yes. That again, like with I guess the demo kinda it served a purpose and it didn't because I'm not sure how the upgrades are the quality of life features overall. It's cool in the full game, you can save during a run, which I'm always requesting. That's cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the level design I can't speak of because I'm pretty sure these developers are Nintendo fans. Because when I first started playing it, I'm like, "Oh, are we playing a Metroidvania? That's cool."
Mhm.
Like, because I see the map, you know? Like, but yeah, I would agree with that part. And yes, it's much less Hades where I'm constantly like dive, dive, dodge, dodge, hit. It's more of like dodge, hit, dodge, hit. Like it's there's more of like
Yeah.
a rhythm to it. And yeah, the bosses that I got to, I'm like, you probably need some upgrades. At least I do. I probably can't win early on, which again, like if I play a roguelite and I win like the second time I play, I'm probably thinking this is not the game for me.
Yeah,
Unless
I
there's
would
like some
agree.
other kind of depth to it. But um,
It's funny because the whole time playing it, I'm like, a Donkey Kong Country roguelite would be really interesting.
I
So
I want to turn
just
every
throwing that out
game.
there, Nintendo.
I want to turn every
I
game
would be
into a
okay.
roguelike. And
It's a horrible genre because once you like it, oh,
yeah, but it's a good genre to get into if you just need some casual games sometimes. I mean, not all are casual,
yeah,
but it's certainly a genre where you can play in short bursts. And Nintendo has this sort of thing where they'll kind of experiment, they'll kind of like dip their toe. And Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC was kind of like that, where it's like, okay. You got Donkey Kong, you got this roguelike element to it, so why not just go fully into it and give the people what they want? That's what I think. So yeah, I always want to turn every game into a
oh,
roguelike.
if Donkey Kong Country 6 had that format and we kept the 2D I think that would be a very lovely formula just to mash together. But
Right, right.
yeah.
Because
So that was all the stuff I played. Were there any demos you snuck in otherwise?
so that is everything. Wow, we did really good.
Okay.
We did really good for
Okay.
an hour. So, I've played Dinkum a pretty good amount during the early access. I was really excited about
Okay.
it. Still am. Um, yeah, Dinkum is Australian Animal Crossing. You're on an island. You're escaping, the horrible everyday life to go live on this Australian island. The big difference is that the animals on the island can and will attack you. So that part's different. And it seems like I haven't played any of the 1.0, and unfortunately, my Switch experience on the demo, the performance is really bad. So I didn't play too much on it. But I have heard there are patches for Switch and Switch 2. So I think for however much this game is, $20 or however much it is, if you're committed to it, it seems like there are hundreds of hours of farming, mining. I think there are dungeons. There might be. There might be like some kind of Zelda element to it. Um, and the island itself is pretty massive. So for a live sim, I think it's pretty cool. If you think like I want to play Animal Crossing, but it would be cool to have the risk of being attacked, then maybe this is more of a game for you. So demo not good. Game overall, I think is pretty awesome. I just I
Okay.
get worried sometimes that games get ported over, and because of licenses, they stay and they don't get fixed. But maybe Switch 2 will have a better reputation of that. I don't know. The other one I played then is Old School Rally because it's from for where I am on Steam, it's like $3. If you've played any of the Sega Rally games, it plays very similar to that. Um, Overall, the car design, nothing to really talk about there, not so good. The world design for like a $5 game, pretty good, pretty good. So I wanted to play it because it's like $3 on Steam. So I wanted to just know
Mhm.
like, is it worth the $3? It is, and for me, it is worth $3. So take that what you will. Retro style, certainly inspired by like those Sega rally style games, and plays more like the turns are very, very slick. It plays very much like a rally style game. I'll just include that because that is another one that I played. Um, and that was it because um you played Kirby demo, but that's old now,
Yes,
right?
you can't access it anymore.
And you
That
can't
was
access it. Yeah.
the Kirby demo, the Mina demo, and maybe that Elliot demo. I think all of those are gone now. But
Yeah, you
yeah, I don't know. I think overall companies make demos. Even if sometimes it puts you know people off your game, but a lot of times it helps. So I
if
just think it's a thing we need to continue to have in the world.
if only there was a platform. I mean, Steam is the closest to that because Steam, it's pretty seamless. If you play a game less than 2 hours, you can get your money back really, really easily. It just takes a day or two.
Yeah,
Nintendo, it's just gone, but when you hit confirm, it is gone. Um, I wish in an ideal world, every game would have a demo with just a time limit, or like,
yeah.
if it's a short game, it's a short time limit. If it's a long game, you get a longer time limit on it. Um, so yeah, Sean, you've played a lot of games this year, haven't you? It seems like it, or you bought a lot of games this year, or is that normal?
Yeah,
Normal amount.
yeah, I think it was a pretty normal amount. I mean, when we come back for our 150, I'll see how many I got through. But yeah, yeah, I've tried to cram in as many as I can. And like I said, the demos are the thing that kill me. Cause like, oh, I like this. I'm gonna get this. So
Yeah.
that's how that keeps growing.
Well, you can talk about it more on 150. Have you opened Cyberpunk?
Nope.
But you have it though.
Cyberpunk is probably a 2026 game for me, but that's okay.
You have it though. But although I hear it's like the best looking Switch 2 game, so perhaps when you open it, you're gonna want to play it. So, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, at least I'm happy. I mean, this year you got into Hades, you got into Hollow Knight, you bought Cyberpunk. I mean, you're playing all the games that I enjoy. So,
Yeah, yeah, you're continuing to have a horrible influence on me, so that's
so
good.
So, cool, cool. What demos, listeners, have you checked out? If you're still with us now, you got to like, subscribe, leave a comment on whatever platform you're on, do all the YouTube things. Nintendo Therapy is part of Sidepanel Network. I have my basketball podcast, Harrison Talks Pod, comes out every Sunday or Monday, depending on where you are. I'm also doing daily uploads on my gaming channel. All the links are down below. So we'll just leave you with that. And Kevin's gone, so there's no Ninja Turtle news, I'm assuming. So,
Um, yeah, so Ninja Turtle Nerds will be back in 2026. We were only able to get one new episode out this year, but if you look us up, there's 3 seasons worth of comic coverage, and our one and only episode for the year was the Batman versus Ninja Turtles movie. So if you want to get caught up on all our Ninja Turtle goodness, check that out, and we'll be back next year. Hopefully, monthly is the plan. So join us there.
Nintendo fans, not Nintendo experts, so we might have gotten some things wrong, but today was a pretty easy day. We'll be back. So we have our big 150 in January, but we'll have some more content coming out before then. We just don't know when that's gonna be. We also don't even know when it's gonna be uploaded because Kevin does the uploads for this channel, so this will be out when it comes out. Have a great week. Sean, you have a great week too. See you then.
You too, Harrison.